could have a footballer and a singer. This would be perfect.
I know, yeah. I don't know. I'm always really split because I think everyone always assumes that they are going to do one or the other. And neither Wayne or I got pushed into our careers, so we try not to be like that with them. But I can't help but watch, particularly, both of them can sing, which is lovely, but particularly with my youngest, Carter, he's really good he's quite dramatic, but in like a good way. And he can sing, he's got really good rhythm, and I always say to him, I'm like, you just belong on a stage. And whereas I wouldn't necessarily push them into it, I already know the pride I would feel watching one of them on a stage because I know how it feels to be up there.
So you're a bit conflicted?
I am a bit. I feel they're both really tough businesses for them to go into, and I would find that hard to watch them go through it. I think both of us would in either career because we know the ups and downs of it. But I would know how it feels to be up on that stage. Right? Do you know what I mean? And those nerves,
also
so
like
I
the
would
joy
enjoy
of
that.
seeing your child do something that they're really loving to do, isn't it? I mean, it could be. I think if you see a flame, you know, and you can just like, you know, give it oxygen.
That's the thing, though, Nadia. When you see a flame, are you fanning it and encouraging it, or are you sort of really?
No, you just have to go like this. Don't get the bellows out, because then they...
Well, they say you shouldn't grab your child like that. You should let them sit on your hand like that and let them... I remember I had this situation where I'd never really seen any potential for Noah to be an actor or any interest even. You know, he wasn't involved in even being interested in what I did, so I never thought about it when he went to audition for his school play in year 6, you know, age 10 or something. He went for a really small part, but the teachers saw something in him and it was Mary Poppins, and they gave him the part of Bert.
Well, the main part?
The main guy in it, and he came home and told me, and I was like, are you sure? Because I just hadn't seen any potential. And so I just kind of didn't... He didn't ask me for advice. He didn't want to go through any singing with me or anything. So I just let it go. And then I turned up for the dress rehearsal, and he was really good. And I don't think he knew he was that good. I definitely didn't.
How did that make you feel?
And I did feel this bolt, like what you've just said about you know how you'll feel. Yeah. It just hit me from nowhere that, oh, wow, you're actually, like, you're talented, you could do that. But what was really sad is that after he realised he had that skill, because not many boys, especially his mates, and there wasn't any sort of championing of it, like his mates weren't cheerleading for him, and so he was a bit embarrassed, and he just stepped right away from it.
I think that's what Carter said, because when I said to him, I was like, you could join a drama club. He said, no, it's just all girls in it, and there's still that, like, element of embarrassment around it, and I think it is a real shame, whereas I feel like people are more like, especially with boys, to be like, go do sport, you know, they're more on like the Wayne side of like, go play football.
And did that actually encourage them into football?
No, like they didn't play football until they were a lot older than their friends, and actually Carter has just left his football team, and everyone is like, oh, why? And they keep asking him why, and he might be good at it, but he doesn't enjoy it. And I think that's a hard thing for parents, is when your kid is good at something, to not push them into it, even if they don't enjoy it. Well. But I do think it's the same as, like, you're a family of doctors, Sonny. Like, people say to me all the time about kids being forced, like, you know, the celebrity world and whatever, and I'm like, but it's just the same in other industries.
Exactly the same. I mean, my dad's a doctor, and all his friends' kids are doctors, and I was probably the first of many that didn't get to be a doctor, and it's not just because I didn't want to be a doctor, it's because I also wasn't clever enough to be a doctor. And so when I got my A-level results, I remember my mum and dad, literally, they didn't even know there were things like D's and E's. They actually said, we've never seen these letters on any examination report.
But that was tough on you.
I mean, they thought A, B and C was a fail. I think that's what they thought. Anything below that, they didn't even think it went that far. So I just let them down on the whole doctor front. And I think...
But then you became a doctor.
And then I became a doctor on the telly and went above my dad and became a consultant. You know, but I do feel the pressure of when you have a family expectation of people knowing this is a really good route, why would you not want to consider it? I think it does take a lot to go away from it. And, you know, and in some families, especially if you come from a family full of people who've gone to university and stuff. I always envied friends of mine who go, I'm the first to go to university in my family, because I think, oh, wow, what must that feel like?
Did you always want to be an actor?
Well, my dad obviously was an actor, and so people always say, oh, you're going to be like your dad. Not my family, but other people. And I really resented it. And I wanted to be a nurse. I mean, passionately, until I was about 14. Yeah. And, like, the Arab side of the family, come on, you must not be a nurse, engineer, doctor, the person who never did an O-level, you know. But, and so I pushed against it. But then I loved it. And so I was that's the
And you
route
were
I
very
went.
good at it.
And it is getting that balance, isn't it? It's just getting that balance,
Yeah.
But also, as you were saying earlier, not everyone wants to make their work the primary thing in their life.
No. I think that's a really big thing. I think with social media is we're kind of taught now, like, you've got to have a side hustle, you should start your own business, you should want to be bigger and better and always climbing for more. And actually, I try not to instill that in my kids. I want them to be as successful as they want to be, but not everyone wants that. Some people want consistency. They want to be able to leave their work at work and go home and just live their life. And I think there is merit in that as well. And in the same way that just because someone's parents are successful, why we then put them on this pedestal? Success? Like, I imagine with Cruz Beckham and with Kaye, everyone's going to be almost expect them to be better than their parents.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's such a huge pressure. Just let them enjoy it.